Welcome back to the Quarterly Call. All content is for informational purposes and is not investment advice. Please consult with an investment professional. Today, we're jumping into a really exciting batch of updates from the world of AI.
Yeah, definitely.
A recent industry event, well, it showcased some incredible leaps forward, and it hinted at where AI is heading next. So we've distilled it all down, focusing on the developments we think are most likely to have a real impact.
That's right. It really feels like we're seeing an acceleration, not just small steps, but some genuinely transformative changes, both in how the models are built and how we actually interact with them.
Okay, let's get into it then. One of the first things that stood out to me was just the speed. The sheer speed at which these AI models are evolving now. We're seeing big upgrades rolling out much, much more often.
Absolutely. Yeah. Gone are the days of waiting, years for the next big thing. Now it's more like a continuous flow. Constant refinement, new releases. A great example is the progress with Google's Gemini models. Just really rapid movement there.
The performance numbers for Gemini, they seem pretty impressive. I saw something about ELO scores, jumping quite a bit since the first Gemini Pro. What does that really tell us?
Well, yeah, think of ELO scores like ranking chess players, but for AI models. It measures their skill, so to speak. A big jump, like over 300 points since the first Gemini Pro, that signals a really substantial leap in its overall capabilities.
Wow.
And what's really key here is Gemini 2.5 Pro. It's actually climbed right to the top of the El Arena leaderboard, outperforming everything else in general performance.
That is a pretty big deal. And it's not just general intelligence, right? I heard they've made some serious strides in coding specifically.
Exactly. Yeah, Gemini 2.5 Pro isn't just better at chatting. It's a much more powerful coder now.
Yeah.
It recently topped the Web Dev Arena benchmark,
Okay.
which shows a big improvement in handling complex web development stuff. And that's why you're seeing it picked up so fast on platforms like Cursor. It's helping developers write a massive amount of code. It's becoming a really practical, useful tool for building software.
Now, this next one caught my eye. Apparently, Gemini managed to complete Pokemon Blue. It sounds a bit fun, maybe trivial, but is there more to it?
Huh. Yeah, it might sound like fun and games, but think about what's actually involved in finishing a game like Pokemon Blue.
Sure.
You've got to navigate a complex world, make strategic choices, solve puzzles, remember tons of information.
Right.
So Gemini succeeding there, it actually highlights progress in its ability to handle sequences of tasks, problem solve within rules, and even show some kind of long-term planning. It's a novel way to show off how sophisticated these models are getting.
Okay, that makes sense. All this rapid progress, though, it must need some serious horsepower running things behind the scenes. What about the infrastructure making this happen?
You're absolutely right. Yeah, these AI breakthroughs, they don't just happen, right? They're powered by really cutting-edge stuff like Google's 7th Gen TPU, Tensor Processing Unit, specialized chips for AI. This new one's called Ironwood.
Ironwood, okay.
And the performance jump over the last gen is reported to be huge, like around 10 times the compute power per chip.
10 times. That's incredible. So is this just for Google's own stuff? Or
No, not at all. And that's a big deal. This infrastructure is also being made available to Google Cloud customers.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of power, it means faster development, faster deployment of AI models, and it helps bring down costs too. It puts Google in a really competitive spot, price performance-wise for AI services.
And it seems like businesses and developers are really, well, jumping on board. That 50-fold increase in token processing in just 1 year, that's a staggering number. What does that tell you about AI adoption?
Well, that exponential growth in token processing and tokens are basically the words or parts of words the AI uses. Just underlines how fast AI is weaving itself into everything.
Yeah.
All sorts of apps and services.
Yeah.
The fact that millions of developers are actively using the Gemini API with usage just spiking like that, it shows there's a real hunger to build with this tech.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about some of the fascinating research that's now finding its way into actual products. Project Starline, which is now Google Beam, that sounds like something out of sci-fi.
It kind of is. What's really cool about Google Beam is the goal. Create this incredibly immersive, almost holographic communication.
Holographic.
Well, close. It uses advanced cameras and AI to build the 3D image of the person you're talking to. Displays it so it feels really real, almost like they're right there with you. And the partnership with HP to get this to early customers, that's a big step towards making this, futuristic tech actually real.
And it sounds like some of the underlying tech from Starline is already popping up in tools we use more often, like Google Meet. with that new real-time speech
Yeah,
translation.
exactly.
It could be huge for global communication.
Oh, absolutely. Breaking down language barriers
Yeah.
right there in a video call.
Uh,
Massive potential for international business, collaboration, just understanding each other.
mhm.
Starting with English and Spanish is great. And yeah, the promise of more languages will just amplify that impact.
Another project that caught my eye was Project Astra, now the foundation for a universal AI assistant, and it's being put into Gemini Live. The camera and screen sharing stuff seems really powerful for getting help in the moment.
Yeah, the idea of an AI assistant that can literally see and understand your world through your phone's camera and then offer relevant help, that's a big step forward.
Hmm.
Think about it, getting feedback on practicing for a job interview or maybe real-time directions or info during a marathon.
Hmm.
The possibilities are huge.
Mhm.
It really points towards a more, well, intuitive way of interacting with AI.
And then there's Project Mariner, described as an AI agent that can actually go out and interact with the web to do things for you. That teach and repeat function sounds particularly interesting.
Project Mariner represents that shift towards AI being truly proactive.
Yeah.
Not just answering your questions, but actively working for you, navigating the web, completing tasks, and that teach and repeat bit,
Mm,
where the AI learns by watching you do something, that makes it incredibly user-friendly, really adaptable.
right.
Making it available to developers via the Gemini API and putting it into Chrome, Search, the Gemini app. It really hints at a future where AI handles a lot more of our online chores.
Speaking of AI agents, the concept of agent mode inside the Gemini app sounds like it could automate some of those really complex multi-step things we all deal with.
Right. This is where AI starts feeling less like just a tool and more like a genuine assistant. Imagine telling your AI, find me an apartment, needs these things for these roommates. And it handles the searching, the filtering, even maybe suggesting schedules for viewings. That's the kind of power agent mode is aiming for.
Okay, but to make these interactions really helpful, I understand there's a big focus on something called personal context. How's that going to work? Sounds a bit sensitive.
Well, the idea is, and this is key, with your explicit permission, Gemini models could access info from your other Google apps, like your emails, your calendar.
Okay, permission is key.
Absolutely. The goal is to provide more relevant, more personalized responses. So for example, in Gmail, the AI could suggest smart replies that actually sound like you, based on your past emails. But the user is always in control. You decide what info, if any, the AI can see.
Got it. Okay, let's dive a bit deeper into the actual AI models. We've got Gemini 2.5 Pro, the most intelligent, and Gemini Flash, the efficient one. What's the difference for, us or for developers?
Yeah, it's basically about having the right tool for the right job. Gemini 2.5 Pro, that's for the really heavy lifting. Tasks needing top-tier reasoning, deep understanding. Its benchmark rankings on El Marina and Web Dev Arena show that.
Like the top performer.
Exactly. Then you have Gemini Flash. Still incredibly capable. It's right behind Pro and El Marina, but it's optimized for speed and efficiency. So it's perfect for apps where you need quick answers, lower costs, that sort of thing. Better for developers in many high-volume cases.
And for those developers actually building with Gemini 2.5, sounds like there are some new features coming that will be really useful, like multi-speaker text-to-speech, better security against prompt injections. What's that?
Right. These updates are really practical. Multi-speaker TTS means AI apps can have more natural, engaging voice conversations.
Yeah.
Prompt injections. Yeah, that's basically people trying to trick the AI into doing things it shouldn't. So better security there is vital for building safe, reliable systems.
Makes sense.
Plus things like thought summaries where the AI explains its reasoning a bit, add useful transparency.
I saw a demo where Gemini 2.5 Pro generated a whole 3D web app just from a sketch someone drew. That seems almost unbelievable.
It really shows off the progress in
Yeah.
what we call multimodal AI. The model understands different types of information, images, text, and then translates that into something functional, like code for an app. It really lowers the barrier for creating complex digital stuff.
There's also this new research model, Gemini Diffusion, using a different approach for text generation, apparently much faster for editing math and code.
That's right. It borrows techniques usually used for making images, but applies them to text. It lets the AI process and refine text sort of all at once in parallel. That leads to big speed improvements, especially for structured things like math equations or lines of code.
And finally, in this area, there's this deep think mode for Gemini 2.5 Pro. Sounds like they're really pushing the absolute limits.
Yeah, deep think mode is basically about throwing more resources and advanced techniques at the hardest problems, trying to max out the model's performance on really tough benchmarks. It's like seeing how far the engine can go, but with very careful safety testing before it's widely available, of course.
Okay, zooming out a bit, the bigger vision seems to be Gemini evolving into a kind of world model, something that understands and interacts with the world more deeply, maybe even simulates experiences. How does that connect to things like AI in games?
The world model concept is definitely ambitious. It's about building AI that has a much deeper grasp of, well, how the physical world works, so it can reason and plan more effectively within it. The progress we've seen with AI mastering complex games, like AlphaGo or StarCraft,
Right.
and models like Genie 2, which can create interactive 3D worlds from just a picture. These are all steps along that path, building blocks towards that bigger goal.
And we also heard about VO, a very advanced video model that gets physics, apparently, and Gemini robotics, specifically for teaching robots real-world tasks.
Yeah, these show AI getting more specialized. VO understanding physics helps them make videos that look more realistic, more consistent, and Gemini robotics, crucial for getting robots to learn useful skills and actually perform actions out there in the physical world.
The application of AI in scientific discovery by Google DeepMind sounds incredibly promising, too. Breakthroughs in math, drug discovery, AlphaFold, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. The impact on science is becoming huge. You mentioned AlphaProof helping with math theorems, co-scientists for research collaboration. And yeah, AlphaFold predicting protein structures, that's already had a massive impact on biology and medicine.
Yeah.
AI is really accelerating scientific progress across the board.
Okay, let's talk about something that affects pretty much everyone listening. Google search. It sounds like these Gemini models are fundamentally changing how search works.
Totally. Putting Gemini into Google search is moving it beyond just giving you a list of links. It's becoming smarter, more proactive, more like an assistant. And the fact that AI overviews those AI summaries right in the results are being used so widely, it shows people are finding this new approach genuinely helpful.
Building on that is this new AI mode powered by Gemini 2.5. Sound like a complete rethink of the whole search experience.
Yeah, AI mode's a pretty big evolution. It lets you ask much longer, more complex questions, and you can have follow-up conversations to refine things. The initial rollout in the US is a major step towards a more interactive, reasoning-based way to find information.
This query fan-out technique sounds interesting. Search breaks down your big question into smaller ones to explore the web more deeply.
Exactly. So AI mode can dig much deeper than traditional search. It pulls info from more sources, gives you more comprehensive, nuanced answers, and it does it incredibly fast.
And coming soon to the labs version of AI mode. Personalized suggestions, integrating info from Gmail, that feels like it could make search incredibly tailored.
Right. By looking at your past searches, and again with your permission, info from Gmail, AI mode can offer recommendations and results that are much more relevant to you personally. It aims for a really personalized experience, but always keeping you in control of your data. That's crucial.
For those really deep dives, research tasks, there's deep search within AI mode, promising expert-level reports with links back to sources. Could be a huge time saver.
Yeah, deep search is for when you need a really thorough understanding of something complex. It uses that query fan-out technique even more extensively. It synthesizes info from lots of credible sources to generate these comprehensive reports, like having a powerful research assistant right there.
We also heard AI mode can help with complex data analysis, even visualize things. Using sports stats as an example, that could open up data understanding for everyone.
Definitely. The ability to analyze complex data and show it visually, right within search. That makes insights accessible that used to need special tools or skills. Huge potential across many fields, not just sports, finance, science.
And Project Mariner's agent abilities are being integrated too, for practical things like finding event tickets, making restaurant reservations. Search starts to feel like a concierge then.
That integration is a big step towards a more proactive search. Instead of just giving you info, AI can start taking action for you, helping you get real-world tasks done seamlessly.
The multimodal stuff is also coming to AI mode with Search Live, integrating Project Astra's live camera features. That sounds incredibly useful for visual questions.
Search Live combines that visual input with AI understanding. Imagine pointing your camera at something and asking your setting. Search about it or asking for help of it. It turns your phone into a visual problem solver.
And for online shopping, AI mode sounds like it's getting a major boost. Visual inspiration, personal recommendations, virtual try-on, price tracking, even automated checkout.
Yeah, these enhancements are all about making online shopping smoother, more intuitive. From finding products visually to getting tailored recommendations, even simplifying checkout, AI is set to really change e-commerce within search.
Okay, let's turn to the Gemini app itself. The goal is making it the most personal, proactive, and powerful AI assistant. We talked about personal context, but how will it be more proactive?
The proactive part is about the AI anticipating what you might need, offering help before you even ask. So, like, if it sees an exam in your calendar and knows you've been looking at study notes, it might proactively offer to make some practice quizzes for you, that kind of thing.
And the full power of Gemini 2.5 Pro is being built right into the app for coding, creating media. Sounds like it's becoming a really versatile tool on your phone.
Exactly. Putting the top models right in the Gemini app means you can do really advanced, creative, and productive work right from your phone. Makes cutting-edge AI much more accessible.
There are also some big new features launching in the app. Gemini Live with camera and screen sharing, deep research with file uploads, Canvas for collaboration, Gemini in Chrome for web help. It sounds like a major upgrade package.
Yeah, these new features really broaden what the Gemini app can do. It's becoming more of a central hub for AI help across different parts of your digital life. Real-time interaction, deep research, creative work.
And we can't forget the latest generative AI models being added. Imagen 4 for amazing images, VO3 for state-of-the-art video with audio.
Right. These advancements bring powerful creative tools to everyone through the app, generating stunning images with better text, realistic videos with sound effects, music, even dialogue. It's democratizing creation.
It's not just apps, though. Generative AI is also making big waves for creators, musicians, filmmakers. Music AI Sandbox, Lyria 2 for high-fidelity music. Sounds like game changers.
Absolutely. Giving pros tools like Music AI Sandbox and Lyria 2, which can now make incredibly realistic music.
Oh.
Even vocals, it empowers artists to explore new sounds, enhance their workflows in really exciting ways.
With all this AI-generated content, though, there's also a big focus on provenance, right? Knowing where stuff comes from. Tools like Synthetad for watermarking.
Yeah, that's crucial. Ensuring, if something was AI generated is important for trust, for dealing with potential misuse. Synthetad embeds an invisible digital watermark,
Okay.
and the Synthetector can check for it. It helps create a more transparent digital space.
The collaboration with filmmakers like Darren Aronofsky on Veo, shaping it for cinema, even making that short film Ancestra. That's a fascinating mix of art and tech.
Partnering with creators like Aronofsky gives invaluable feedback. It helps push the tech in directions that are actually useful for filmmakers, leading to tools that can genuinely enhance creative expression.
Building on that, there's Flow, a new AI filmmaking tool combining Veo, Imagen, Gemini, designed for creative workflows, keeping characters and scenes consistent.
Flow aims to be a more integrated tool for filmmaking, using AI for generating and tweaking video and images, but crucially, helping maintain consistency for characters and scenes throughout a project, making it easier to bring a creative vision to life.
And to support all this, new Google AI subscription plans, Pro and Ultra, offering more usage, early access.
Right. These tiers are for different levels of use, giving more resources, faster access to the newest features for people who really want to push the limits with Google AI.
Finally, let's touch on AI moving into the physical world with Android XR. Sounds like Android is becoming the platform for experiencing AI in new, immersive ways, AR and VR included.
Yeah, Android's huge reach makes it a natural platform to bring AI to everyone. Android XR specifically focuses on that immersive side headsets, glasses opening up really exciting new ways to interact with tech and the world.
Seeing Gemini integrated across different Android devices, watches, cars, TVs makes AI help more available. And Android XR headsets like Samsung's Project Muhan sounds like they could offer really compelling experiences.
The vision is that intelligent assistant being available everywhere, understanding your context, helping out. XR headsets promise real immersion, virtual trips and maps, real-time info during virtual events.
And then the Android XR glasses, meant for everyday wear, hands-free AI with cameras, mics, maybe displays in the lenses. That backstage demo sounded pretty cool.
Exactly. XR glasses aim for a more seamless way to get AI help. Contextual info without constantly looking at a screen. The demo showed practical stuff, notifications, voice commands for Gemini, taking photos, even live translation between languages during a chat.
The partnerships with stylish eyewear brands like Gentle Monster and Warby Parker suggest a real push to make this tech actually wearable, not just functional, but fashionable too.
Yeah, that's key for wearables, isn't it? It needs to fit into our lives. Partnering with respected eyewear brands is crucial for making XR glasses something people might actually choose to wear.
So wrapping up, it's really inspiring to see examples of AI tackling big real-world challenges. Firesat detecting wildfires, wing drones delivering aid.
Those examples really ground the technology, don't they? They show the potential for tangible, positive impact on society, addressing critical issues, improving lives.
And looking ahead, the potential for future advances driven by AI in robotics, healthcare, quantum computing, autonomous vehicles. It's incredibly exciting to think about.
Definitely. The continued progress in AI holds so much promise for innovation across basically every field. It could lead to breakthroughs we can barely even imagine right now.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Quarterly Call. For more episodes, please remember to rate and follow our show. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening. Stay curious.